Well, hello guys, welcome back. I finally decided to appear on camera without any makeup. I don't think you'll notice the difference though. Actually, I do this as a goof on the other channel once in a while. It's Foxy. Oh my god, the light just came on, so Loki is literally having fun with this too. But I thought I would tell you. You know that dream I told you about the other day where I thought it was my animus appearing. It was Loki, of course, and today he was all pouty because, I didn't recognize him, and how could I? And I'm thinking, great, I just broke my god. I broke the blood brother of Odin. I get to tell Odin I broke his brother. Of course, it was Loki having fun, and he also decided to have fun today. While I'm walking, I do kind of, I guess you would call it meditation. I put on the music and I walk in the house. I walk a pretty brisk pace. And I put myself somewhere else in my mind. Now, before you do this, make sure you're not doing it where there's traffic or anything else. If I'm doing it outside, I'm fully aware of what is around me and I see my surroundings, but it's not totally safe to do outside. So, I'm doing this. And I'm usually putting myself in one place or another, just someplace that, I can enjoy. And today, Loki's like, be a fox. And I'm like, hmm? And he's like, be a fox, fox, fox. So we're both foxes, and we're running through this field. As I'm walking, as we're playing the music, I'm also running through this field, and I'm a fox, and we're bouncing off the furniture, metaphorically, not literally. And doing acrobatics and being foxes and having foxy joy. So that really helped, and that might be a meditation you might enjoy. And maybe foxes aren't your animal. Maybe you like I don't know, pick something. Maybe you like rabbits. Maybe you prefer snakes for Loki, or horses, or whatever you prefer. But that's something you might, once in a while want to give a try to. Now, I'm doing this with the mask being silly. Let me see if I can get it off without ripping everything off. Well, part way off. Good enough. And, of course, now my cannons are falling down, so I look lovely. Doesn't this look, though, like one of those Aleister Crowley posters? Like one of those still shots of him. Oh. You give me a mask and I turn into Aleister Crowley, now we all know. But yeah, I wanted to kind of tell you about that dream and tell you about that could be something fun to do with Loki, kind of as you're walking safely, of course, to invite him in to see if he wants to play. And usually if you're exercising, he gets wound up and he's like, play, 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 now, now, now. But, if that doesn't work for you, then invite him into play some other ways, some other time. Lokeans are creative people, you can think of something. But that was really fun, and he likes to do it more than I do it with him. I should... Shut up, Loki. I should invite him into that time while I'm walking more often. But it's usually I'm off doing my own thing, having my own adventure. But I should have him in more often, and it can be a great way to connect with any god. If Loki's not your god, you can certainly adapt it for anyone else. Maybe they don't turn into foxes and want to play, and want you to be a fox too, and run, 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 play, play, play. It can be fun, silly exercise, because usually as adults we forget to have fun. We get really serious and we get all scholarly, and we think that if we want to be taken seriously as a follower of any god, we must go to that sort of Gothic cathedral, studying for 20 years, very serious, sort of alkalite into priest or priestess sort of mindset. And that actually does not fit Loki well. Up until this date, we haven't found any temples to him per se. Now, I think this could have been, you know, for my own 2 cents and my sense of working with him, he's way too informal to have a dedicated temple. We all know I call that one pavilion Loki's temple, but it's all in good humor. It's tongue-in-cheek, heavily tongue-in-cheek. He does not have the temperament to just stay in one area, especially, God forbid, you let him get bored. If you only went there once a week to see him, and you only went for 15 minutes, you would come back and find the place in utter chaos one day. You would. Or you would find him gone. He is not a god of the temperament of sit in the temple all day, every day. This is fine and dandy. He is, you know, a rover. So it's a good way to work with him. And as you go on in your relationship, you can, you know, we were running as foxes through a field, but then we were seeing the house, if this makes sense, and running through the house as foxes, all while I'm walking as a human, listening to the music. This was a mental exercise, mind you. As I was walking, listening to my music, we were doing this mental exercise. I did not try to drop to all fours, because at my age, you get up slower and slower. It starts in your 40s, just so you know. And, you know, it was fun to do. And it reminded me to have that joy with him, to have that spontaneity with him, that when he does want to play, because the more you work with him, you can be at work, I could be making a video, or I could be cooking or cleaning or whatever, and he's there and he's like, play, play, play. Like with me, he likes to do the little fox form because he knows it works. With you, he might do, you know, traditional human form or whatever works with you. Or, you know, if he shows up in dreams, to have playtime as well. If he wants to have playtime, just, you know, indulge him. He's one of the gods that enjoys that sort of thing. He enjoys being playful and being silly. He doesn't have the kind of honor and gravitas to hold, at least in some paths, that the other gods have. So I just figured I would do this, and I swear I will stop fooling around with the camera. I've been trying to fix it, but unfortunately, according to this camera, I am a highly reflective surface. I've watched other videos with the older camera, and I did not have that highly reflective sheen on my skin. But for some reason, with this camera, what you're actually seeing is how the camera reflects light off my skin. That is why I'm this, you know, kind of alabaster chalk white color. This is all the light hitting my skin, so this camera kind of overdoes it. So, just, you know, to sum up, it's fine to play with Loki, it's fine to be silly, it's fine to be experimental. I won't keep doing this, even though, you know, we could have a great amount of fun with it. And like I said, I don't have the funds right now for a studio, but it is fun to do this and kind of like be experimental and stuff like that. But I figured I would share that with you. And yes, I'm distracted. I'm like a little puppy. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Okay, but yeah, I will stop playing with the camera and I will let you go. But this is so neat. I am just like so fascinated, because in the old days, if you wanted to get this effect, you had to film with a camera that had set parameters, then you had to get really expensive equipment and do all this editing, and it just fascinates me that there are cameras today that can, you know, film and do it as they're filming, because this is natural when you go in and you mess with the settings. But I hope you guys found it fascinating. I swear, last time I'll do it, I promise. Give me 1 second, just let me fool with one setting here. Okay, got it out of my system. I think that's the full color spectrum I can get. I can get more red, I can get chalk white, that does nothing at all. Um, this will just make me fade out, or fade in, or fade way out. So yeah, it's something to experiment with and have fun with. I swear I'm pretty much done with fooling around with it, because that's it. I could fool with exposure again, like cheap horror movie exposure. But yeah, I'll stop. I'll get off. But I'm having way too much fun with the camera. Okay, but I figured I would make you something a little more silly and just share the dream with you. And I'm a distracted little guppy at this point. I'm like, this is so cool. So I will see you guys later. Bye.